Hello everybody, welcome to the Floaty Lady channel. I'm Floaty, bringing you a review of Procreate 5.2. If you are returning, welcome back. If it's your first time, hi, hello, nice to meet you. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. So some new updates with the 5.2 Procreate on Apple iPad. It now has a 3D feature where you can actually draw on 3D models, which would be super helpful for a tattoo artist. To get it going, we do need to install the 3D models onto Procreate, so I'm going to show you how to do that. The first step is you're going to go down into a link in the description below, which will take you to a Drive folder. So you have all these great files. What do you do with them? You're just going to download each file by double clicking. You'll get the download button and another download button. And you'll see up there a little bargo. You know that one's downloaded. You can go through all of them, download each. Before we start, we're going to go to our Files application here on my iPad. And you'll see that I've made a file here called 3D Body Parts. To make a file, you just add the plus folder and you can title it here. So you open up your downloads and here you're going to see all those 3D renderings that you've downloaded. So now you have the select button and you can select all your 3D models and move them to your 3D body parts folder, which you'll find on my iPad when you go to the move button. Okay, and then you're going to move it into 3D body parts. From here, to get it onto Procreate, unfortunately you have to go one by one. You select, share, press Procreate, and there you go. There's your torso. So now that you have this 3D model in here, you're going to notice that the actions have changed a little bit. There is a 3D option with a couple different buttons. You'll notice one button, Edit Lighting and Environment, which is probably a good one to start with. So depending on which part of the leg you're working on, you might move these lights to a different spot. Add a light if it's too dark on one side. And if we want to take a light out, we just tap it and delete. I like to see the contour a little bit of the 3D model, so I bring my lights out a little farther into the side. You can also change the environment, which is basically just the background that you're working on, but that does help your eye sort of adjust to what you're doing. I like auditorium or sunrise. It's easy on the eyes. You can change the brightness and exposure. You can take off the environment altogether. So when you open up the layers, you'll notice the female leg here. You don't want to work directly on that layer. You want to make a new layer. Before you even start, you should probably just duplicate the model so that you can do whatever you want with this one. When you open up the layers here, you're going to notice the model on one layer and the base layer. The base layer is the white, so you can change that into more of a skin tone if you want to, or you can just keep it white. You can do whatever you want with it by just using the color fill feature. So let's make it like a skin hue here. So now it looks a little more like the client. We're gonna add another layer on top of that. So we don't want to work directly on the base layer. And from here you can use your normal tools. draw on the surface. You'll see different types of surfaces here: color, roughness, and metallic. You can actually change the texture of the color you're using. So you have different options there. Not sure that the program is without its glitches. I've definitely had a little bit of frustration here and there with certain aspects of it, but I'll get into that in a minute. So you can work around the whole 3D object. It's pretty great. So when we're plugged into this 3D format here, you'll notice that the adjustments button doesn't seem to have all those great options. Liquify is missing. I just happen to notice that because I use that often. We still have noise, and a lot of the other features are still working really well here. See all that. So noise is a fun one for sort of emulating stippling, I've thought, so that could be helpful for people if they're doing stippling type tattoo work. Now, you may say, well, I don't really want to work on the 3D model, or if I do work on the 3D model, how do I get it from there onto my stencil? Or how do I trace it out to make a stencil? There is a feature now where you can turn this into a 2D format. You basically just want to go to the transform button while your layer is highlighted. You'll see a white rim appear around it. 3 fingers is the quick way to copy that and start a new project. 3 fingers paste. Now we have a 2D rendering of that 3-dimensional drawing I made. It looks like crap, but you know, it could look cool if you put some time into it. Let me show you what it looks like when you put on work that you've already done. Just make a new layer. We're gonna insert something. So this is just one I've been playing around with, but let's see where we can put this. So I'm trying to put this on a calf. Now, this is where the program gets a little glitchy and a little hard to work with, because you're working around the curve of something and the program's trying to figure it out. The controls are a little tricky to use. It's definitely taking me a little practice. You can go to advanced settings here, and you can rotate using the circular bar either side. And then it's sometimes difficult to do. Oh yeah, and then the circular bar goes in and out to make the image bigger or smaller. It's sometimes hard to do, but this circular gray area is what you need to get a hold of to move the design. These little cubes actually change the width of the image and the length. And this ball or sphere, this floating sphere, changes the angle of the image. So there's quite a few controls in the advanced settings, so I'd recommend trying to use those. The automatic setting seems a little off, to be honest. And then we're just gonna tap the arrow button here. Now I have this thing where I want it, but since I imported the image, I have the white background here still, so let's go into the layer settings. It's on normal right now, so we can just change it to darker color. Linear burn seems to work. A few of these seem good, so you have some options here actually for what you want to pop in the image. You can also, from here, you should be able to, yeah, change the brightness of your layer. Saturation, hue, all the same things. Of course, no liquify, but we knew that. Liquify is probably too advanced of a setting. A lot of processing power, yeah. Maybe in the future we'll get liquify tool in the 3D, and that could be really fun. You could whip up some tattoos pretty quickly that way, I would think. There's one more catch, even in the advanced setting, even in the automatic setting, no matter what setting I've tried to get my image around, there's always some kind of flaw. When you turn to the side, the image does disappear as it goes around the curve of the leg. So basically, it's not 3D. Now let me import that same image. And this time, I'm going to go to this projection button and change to bidirectional. And now, I also changed the projection depth. Yeah, so here it cuts it off. You want to do maximum depth, I guess, just to make sure it covers the whole area around the 3D model here. So that's probably what that does. Leave the bidirectional on. Let's get this thing the size and location we want. Let's just try that and see what happens. So now you get a repeating image bidirectionally, you know, from the front. It makes some cool patterns that, you know, you didn't plan, like some cool shapes and stuff sometimes. But yeah, still some limitations with the program. It seems like you would have to hand draw on the 3D model to get that the way you want. So right now that's the situation. That's about all I have for you today. I can show you a project that I've done here with 3 different leg positions. I thought it came out really well, showing this tattoo from different angles. So I was really proud of that, and I hope I get to do this on somebody at some point. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope it's been interesting and you've gotten something out of looking at this with me. I hope that you find out more about Procreate and put comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. And there's links in the description below. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.